Let's just start. First and foremost, we are days away from this movie hitting theaters. I'm past one of the most anticipated. And I'm like, this is the movie we were making dates about a couple years back. What does this moment in Black Panther mean to you?
Oh boy, it means the culmination of a lot of hard work. You know, it's a character that as a kid I grew up with, so it's somebody that I sort of had always been very interested in. And when I came to Marvel, it was one of the first characters I wanted to explore. So I am glad we were at the day now where I can share this character with the rest of the world. You know, and it was only through finding Ryan Coogler and Ruth Carter and the rest of our amazing crew that we were able to bring this to life. So I'm excited for people to finally see it.
And this moment for me is an opportunity to express the pride that I have always felt for my ancestral background, for my community, for young people. And so to be able to express myself creatively and through such a big medium as movies and films, you know, with a movie like a Marvel film behind you is, you know, a shout out to the world, you know, a big shout out to the world. So I'm so anxious to see, you know, what people feel and take from it.
I'll tell you now, we love it.
Okay.
So I keep getting asked on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm like 500. I don't know what the scale is. Yes. Nate, for you, how important was it to get it right? There are a lot of different communities intertwined here.
Yeah.
Like, how important was it to get it right? Not just from the comic book standpoint, but we're talking about people's legacies and histories that they're also seeing on screen. So
yeah, it was really important. It was actually one of the most important things. You know, you only get so many swings at the plate, I think. And because of what this movie could represent if we did get it right, we knew we had to make sure it felt authentic, it felt real, it felt emotional, it felt like it was talking to the audience in the right way, so that more films like this can get made. You know, it's really about, the thing about representation that I find so powerful, but it's so important, is the stories have to be really good. Because if we give you the sort of B version of Black Panther and it doesn't work, that's actually more damaging than not making the film.
was that more pressure for you and Ryan and the squad to get it extra right? Because some babies don't even know it coming to America. So this is the first look that they're seeing people of color in real roles of royalty. So for you.
Yeah, and it's what's interesting, we had a lot of African members of our cast and our crew, and while they loved that film, they never felt like it really represented Africa. And what was great to hear was they felt like this could really represent Africa because of the detail that Ruth and that Hannah Beekler, our production designer, and Beth McGuire, our dialect coach, were putting into the film. So it wasn't just about representing of African royalty, which is in and of itself really important, but also getting it right so that people in Africa can go, oh, that's correct. You know, Zamunda's fun, but this one feels like they're actually trying to take a cue from what actually exists on the continent.
And now I get to jump to you, Ruth, because now we have the setup, but now it's bringing those visuals to life. You've been doing this since school days and beyond.
Yes.
So for you, I read that there were even a couple trips to Africa to make sure that when we're using these prints, because these colors represent things, for you it was mandatory that not just the story be right, but what we see visually when we sit down and watch this movie. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, Coming to America was a comedy, and so that's why it was so big and broad and larger than life. This story isn't a comedy. It's really creating a sense of a real place, of royalty within the African diaspora. So, you know, it was really important for me to be authentic and to I didn't go to Africa in the prep part. I had shoppers in Africa. I had one in South Africa. I had someone in Ghana, South Korea, because we do have some scenes there. So it was important to me to get it right and to start from the original artifacts if I could, you know, and really kind of know what these things are to kind of jump off from a more informed place.
What do you hope women walk away with from seeing? I mean, it was the scene, the first scene when I see Angela Bassett in her white, and that piece on her head and those earrings. I really hope that I would walk out the theater into a shop where all these things were available to me.
Well, I think, especially black women, we always think of ourselves as queens anyway. And now we can say, I'm a queen, I'm a Zulu queen, or I'm a Nigerian queen, because we give it a context, we give it an origin and a place. So I think that women will leave the film feeling empowered when they look at the Dora Milaje, and they'll feel that, they can take some taekwondo, get some martial arts under their belt, and still be women. And that's, I think, what's the most empowerment message that comes through, is that, they are fighters, but they are also beautiful.
Now, one other great thing that I noticed about the movie is they're in Oakland. There's no secret about society right now, the tensions in the air. How does Black Panther speak? How do you believe Black Panther speaks to today's time? Because to me, it just seems that y'all have pulled, there were so many real storylines, from family to love to loyalty to just dealing with yourself or getting over an obstacle. So how are you hoping that Black Panther speaks to the community as a whole? But I'm going to be honest and say communities of color especially.
Yeah, I think it was one of the things that Ryan Coogler really wanted to hammer home, was this notion of the real issues that we talk about that maybe aren't in film that much, and that unfortunately are becoming more and more visible in the media. But how do you talk about the things in an entertaining and emotional way that still really feel relevant? And I think Oakland was a big part of that, right? And even the conversation that I think Killmonger wants to have in this movie are all about the things that are true, and that we have known to be true, but maybe don't always break through to the wider culture. So I do think there is something here that is very special, and that can be resonant to our community, but also to all communities, because I think everybody needs to have these conversations together. I think that's the only way real change is effected.
Since we're already in Black Panther, towards the end, it made me feel like I might get a Black Panther 2. Do we know if there are any screenplays floating around for a part 2 or part 3? I'm going to just ask.
Well, you have to ask that and make that.
I know. Let's go. Yes?
That's his question.
No screenplays yet. Look, the truth is we let the audience tell us what they want.
We're telling you yes. Now, for you, Miss Ruth, I asked my sisters, and we just want to know, can we get anything we saw in this movie at a store near us? Because I feel like I'm supposed to have on half of these outfits for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, everything was custom made. Everything was custom made. Everything that Shuri wore was custom made. Lupita, it was all. I think the CIA was the only one that was kind of bought, and we crafted that too. I mean, we overdyed it and shook it up and spit it back out. So it's not going to be easy if you try.
So it's not a rumor that one of the suits that we saw Chadwick in was almost like $500,000.
Ooh.
My job is to get the things. I need to know.
There's a lot of prototypes that are done. We do a lot of discovery. We have a lot of meetings about, prints and patterns, and all that costs money. So if you surmise it all, yeah, it could be that. But, as you move forward with the ones that you've decided on, it gets less and less.
And in closing, if you could describe Black Panther, and this is going to be hard for both of you, in 3 words.
3 words.
What would they be and why?
Wow.
I love when I make y'all think.
Yeah.
You can love Africa.
I love it. Yeah, Nate.
I had 4 words.
You did, exactly. Expanding your mind.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you.
This is awesome.